growing interest in using AI to help diagnose and treat depression and anxiety disorders may seem like a promising development. With an estimated 264 million people worldwide living with depression, and around 284 million with anxiety disorders, there is a pressing need for innovative and accessible approaches to mental health care. The potential of AI to detect early warning signs of depression and anxiety through analyzing speech, facial expressions, and other behavioral cues could provide valuable insight for mental health professionals and individuals alike. A recent study conducted by researchers at the University of São Paulo aimed to detect the possibility of someone developing depression based on their social media friends and followers, without taking their own posts into account. The study collected data from a database called Setembro-BR, which contains information about a corpus of texts in Portuguese and the network of connections involving 3,900 Twitter users who reported being diagnosed with or treated for mental health problems before the survey. The study also collected tweets from friends and followers, as people with mental health problems tend to follow certain accounts. First step in the study involved pre-processing the corpus by removing non-standard characters, URLs, emoticons, and hashtags while maintaining the original texts. Study used deep learning akin to human neural network that learns contexts and meanings by monitoring sequential data relationships, such as words in a sentence. Researchers based their models on the bidirectional encoder representations from transformers, BERT, a machine learning algorithm for NLP. These models correspond to a neural network that learns contexts and meanings by monitoring sequential data relationships, such as words in a sentence. To train the models, the team used a sample of 200 tweets selected at random from each user. They defined the parameters by executing cross-validation of the training data 5 times and calculating the average result. The conclusion was that BERT performed best in terms of predicting depression and anxiety, with a statistically significant difference between it and log-reg. The next best option, using deep learning as AI technique inspired by the human brain, to create 4 text classifiers and word embeddings. Researchers analyzed social media feeds of 3,900 users and observed that people with depression tended to write about themselves using verbs and phrases in the first person, as well as topics such as death, crisis, and psychology. The team anonymized all collected texts to protect users' identities. They are now extending the database, refining their computational techniques, and upgrading the models to see if they can produce a tool for future use in screening prospective sufferers from mental health problems and helping families and friends of young people at risk from depression and anxiety. What's real? Our perception of reality is influenced by many factors, including our brain's processing of sensory information. Research shows on how our brain creates illusions of reality. Imagined and perceived stimuli become intermixed in the participants' minds. In near-future scenarios, in which brain stimulation or virtual reality technology become novel sources of strong sensory signals, our findings imply it may be more difficult than we think to tell apart reality and unreality. One study found that our brains tend to fill in missing information in our visual field, even if that information is not actually present. For example, when we look at a person's face, our brain fills in the features that are obstructed by hair or glasses. This phenomenon is called visual completion, and it shows how our brain constructs our perception of reality based on limited information. Another study mentioned in the article explores how our brain perceives motion. It turns out that our brains can perceive motion even if it is not actually occurring. Researchers have found that when a still image is flashed on a screen multiple times with small changes in its position, our brain perceives it as motion. This phenomenon is called apparent motion, and it shows how our brain creates the illusion of movement. Another study discusses how our brain processes sound and how it can be tricked into perceiving sound in a different location than it actually is. These findings show that our brain's perception of reality is not always an accurate reflection of the physical world. Impacts of AI and automation on work. Mental health. Example of manufacturing industry working conditions. As digitalization and intelligent technology continue to transform the workforce, companies are exploring the integration of artificial intelligence (AI) in manufacturing. The benefits of this integration are twofold: reducing the likelihood of overtime work and improving the work environment, both of which have positive impacts on the mental health and well-being of workers. While AI can replace or supplement overtime hours, it can also enhance the flexibility, safety, and convenience of the working environment, especially in dangerous and dirty work environments. Skill levels. Specifically, low-skilled workers benefit significantly from the use of AI as it replaces mundane, dangerous, and dirty tasks, allowing them to do more engaging work and promoting their mental health. In contrast, high-skilled workers typically engage in more knowledge-based work, so AI acts as a support for them, making it relatively less helpful to their mental health. This highlights the importance of considering the heterogeneity of impacts across different skill levels when examining the effects of AI on mental health. Generational effect. Pre-1980s workers experienced an increase in their mental health scores by 2.070 points when AI is used in the manufacturing industry. However, there was no clear positive effect of AI on the psychological well-being of post-1980s manufacturing workers. The study suggests that AI helped to promote the mental health of only the pre-1980s manufacturing workers, possibly because they were more willing to do dirty, hard, and tiring work, and because they were at a stage in their lives where family happiness became their main priority. Negative impact because of AI-induced changes in technology, types of jobs, tasks, pace and breadth of work, and career pathways, etc., can result in a norm of responsiveness, increased mental exhaustion, burnout, physical health problems, and screen time. The use of artificial intelligence technologies can lead to emotional labor, frustration, anger, depletion of personal resources, and employee withdrawal behaviors. Employees who perceive technological change as a threat to job security can experience higher levels of depression, cynicism, anxiety, and mental health problems. Technology can also affect interpersonal relationships between employees and the social capital within organizations. Positives. AI can reduce demands on employees by automating cognitively taxing and repetitive tasks, allowing them to focus on creative, deep thinking work or engage in meaningful interactions with clients. AI and automation also reduces job dissatisfaction and potential physical injuries. Promote good mental health practices through e-health and proactive workplace mental health interventions.